Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light seekers and sojourners of truth, the 144, chosen of the chosen few. I greet you in the love that lights the truth. This is Akila Textry in the divine energy essence of it all, sharing the love and the light with you. Bringing you that news again. This is at 5D. I'm reporting to you live from 5D. And giving you that news that you so choose to infuse wherever you choose to put it. So with that said, I'm going to just jump right into it. It is happy. It's another day. Every day is a happy day, but happy 7-11 and day of the double seven. Let me say that again. Happy 7-11 and day of the double seven. And I'm going to explain to you why I call it day of double seven in a few. But let me start first and foremost with the 7-11 explanation. So I know I wanted to get out here earlier, but I was having issues. I wanted to get out in a day, but having issues uploading the previous video, which you probably will be seeing right about now. Technical difficulties trying to upload it. So I finally got it uploaded. I'm kind of technically challenged, y'all. So I finally got it uploaded, and now I'm doing this one that it's going to be uploaded later on this evening. So the video that you're going to see before this is really from yesterday. But I had to get it out. The information was coming on that day. Lately, I've been speaking about codes, number codes of the day. From day 5 to yesterday being day 6 to today being day, when I say day, I mean number code. Code 5, code 6, code 7. So today is a number code of 7. How do I get these codes? When you add up the day, when you add up what the day is, as we are in the new beginnings plus 5 that I've spoken about. But when you add up that day, the number that it adds up to, when you reduce the number, it has that number code of 5 or 6 or 7. So the number code 2 days ago was code 5. And that is right before we did the new beginnings. And then yesterday, the number was 15. But 5 and 1 is 6. Today's number is 16, but 6 and 1 is 7. Hence, code 7. So with that mini explanation out of the way, let me jump right into the 7-11 explanation. So 7-11, some of us know that number. 7-11, some of us know the 7-Eleven store, but some of us who are into numbers, it's like it kind of does a little something for you. Like, ooh, 7-Eleven. There's a reason why it feels kind of special to some of us. So as it appears, as 7-11 appears today, and I'm going to share with you what I got from it, what I was meditating this morning on it and got a little bit of information on it. So I'm going to share some of that as well as, fill in here and there. So as 7-11 appears, its numerology code highlights the completion 7, the completion of spiritual awakening. And it reads just like that. If you read it just like that, the number 7, the slash, which usually means of, for those who know in mathematic terminology, sort of, and then there's the 11, which is a spiritual awakening, right? So I'm going to say it again. It highlights the completion of 7 of 7, the completion 7 of a spiritual awakening, which is 11, or illumination that is being bestowed upon us, that we are in the right direction. So just to speak a little bit about that, what I mean 11, for those who don't know, that 7 is a type of completion, 7 steps, as I've mentioned before, 7 chakras, 7 days. It's a type of completion of a process of steps that need to be had or done. And 11, for those of us who know, this is why we look for the number 1111. It's a master number, and it usually represents like a spiritual awakening. For those of us who see those numbers often, it's like 7, it's 11, and we seeing it a lot because we're being guided, we're being shown, or it's being highlighted to us that we are approaching our spiritual awakening. Either we're on it already, or we're approaching it, we're dawning it, however you want to look at it, but it is right there, and it's an indication that we're in the right direction. That's why some of us, when we see it, it's like, yep, 1111, I'm right on point, I'm right on cue, right? That is the energies that are sharing that to you, that you're right on point. And so the number code of this day, with that being said, going right into the number code of this day as 7 shows a completion of the reckoning or the spiritual awareness, Sahu, my Kemetic people, Sahu, which means spiritual awareness. So it shows a completion in the reckoning or the awareness in this particular phase of integrating for those who realize and see these number codes, or just those who are seeing or who are catching it. It's representing that. So this 7, the 7 code is showing us just that. It's showing us that what we are approaching, where we are in this particular phase, which I spoke on in the previous video, that we are at the final stage, sort of, when you look at how we're going from the nodes. There we go. Thank you, Spirit. The nodes that are shifting, we're kind of in the final stages of that as we're integrating. You know, it's still going to be a continuance, but this particular phase, we're in the final stages of. So it's showing us that. And the thing to note, too, is that when I say for those who realize and have eyes to see, it's those, meaning although that people may not be consciously aware, although they may not know exactly why it's registering to them unconsciously, right? That this is where they are and what they're approaching. So what does that mean? That even if you're not aware of it, if you just see it and it's like, ooh, 7-Eleven, whoo-hoo, and it kind of tickles your fancy a little bit, you recognize it. Nothing is coincidence. Nothing is an accident, right? So you see these numbers. If you recognize these numbers, it's an indication that this is where you are, or you may be approaching this. You may be somewhere in your spiritual journey, somewhere in your working outs, whether intentional or not, but you're working out and your true heart intentions and vibrations are resonating with these energies that we're moving into, that in the completion, in the part where we're integrating at a certain level, right? Which right about now is really showing us a balance between the physical and the spiritual as we're integrating. It's really bringing some compatibility there. And so you may be experiencing that. You may be witnessing that. You may be seeing it in your life as well as what's going on around you. So if you recognize these numbers, it's kind of highlighting to you that, hey, all right, I'm in the 7-Eleven. It's completion over the spiritual of completion of the spiritual awakening. So it's kind of highlighting that for us. Now the 7 in the month, the 7, that when I said day of 7, what that shows up as is the month, which is 7, right? And the code of the day. So the month and the code of the day is 7. The month is 7. The code of the day, which is what we were just speaking about, is 7. And so, which makes it another 7-7 portal. On a side note, 7-7 portal. So it's still carrying the vibrations of the 7-7-7 portal that we just had not too long ago, which is adding an extra boost to what we are creating, what we are restructuring, whatever it is that we're doing right now while we're in these energetic portals or waves, so to speak, right? And recognizing any of these numbers is highlighting where we are in this particular journey and confirming our spiritual responsibility. Our responsibility as we dawn. This is just giving you a little bit as I was getting. It's showing us our spiritual responsibility in the dawn of our new beginnings +5, because we just started that. From the 10th through the 19th is the new beginnings +5. So we're in the dawn of that, and it's just showing what we're doing, what we're recreating, right? And we're being asked right now to pay attention and put intentions into the balance of our physical and spiritual affairs, right? Find the harmony within our dualities and unify them in the one love aspect of our soul's maintenance. So we're doing our soul work. When I say maintenance, we're doing our soul work. So find that and unify it in that one love. Bringing everything into a harmony is that one love aspect. We are restructuring through, this is how we're structuring. We are restructuring through practical application within the 5 degrees of balance, right? So meaning practical, what we are actually doing that is within the 5 degrees of balance between the masculine and feminine. Remember that 5 degrees of Mars and Venus between them, right? So that's that balance that is to be had. So we're being practical, and we're being practical within that harmony, basically, if I can simplify that, right? So that balance between the masculine and feminine energies that is giving us the opportunities to interact with others through the harmonies of our souls, through the harmonies of our souls as we integrate with other souls, which is expanding our capacity for compassion through the soul integration of will and understanding. So what is that showing us? That it's how we're utilizing these energies in the integration. Remember, as we're in the completion phase of this integration aspect, it's asking us, it's giving us the opportunity to be practical in how we're integrating, how we're expanding our capacity, so to speak. It's allowing us to do that, and how we're finding the harmonies as we integrate with others. The more that we're finding this, and the more that we're doing our soul's maintenance, the more we're harmonizing this duality within our soul, the more that we are coming to that spiritual completion of that whole 7-11, completion of spiritual awakening. Your spiritual awakening to what? To what these integrations are showing us, to how we're integrating, not just with ourselves, but with others in a way of the love frequency, in a way through compassion, that we're not really seeing the opposition in that way. We're seeing the differences. It's not like we're blind. We're seeing the differences, but it's being seen in a way of understanding. Like I said, it's that balance between the will and understanding. It's expanding our capacity to have this compassion for another, for ourselves. As we see another as we see ourselves, and we expand our capacity and our compassion through what? Through our soul's integration, through the soul integration we have with ourself, of will and understanding within our own consciousness, because that's what will and understanding is. Again, it's the duality, the masculine and feminine, masculine being will, understanding being the feminine aspect. So it's having that integration with our will and understanding, right? And it is this is the peace in this journey is within the wisdom that guides the knowledge through the harmonized understanding. Hear that? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. But it is the peace that is in this journey is within. If you want peace in this journey, is what this is saying. It is within the wisdom that we allow to guide the knowledge. What does that mean? The wisdom is the feminine aspect, the wisdom that guides our knowledge, the masculine aspect, the wisdom, which is the understanding, the knowledge is the will. It usually goes with the will. The wisdom is the intuition. The knowledge is the ego, is what we know. And I mean the wise ego, right? So when we have that wisdom that guides, we allow the wisdom to guide that knowledge through the harmonized understanding, that harmonized understanding between the two. And the understanding is also a feminine aspect. So you're kind of looking at a double feminine aspect with the wisdom and the understanding. But when it's harmonized, you really gain that understanding that's needed, that brings that allows the still small voice to speak that much more loudly, to awaken our super conscious, to gain the divine ideas, and allow that Christ consciousness to really flow through us. That's going to help us in this spiritual awakening. That's the boost that we're going to need and get and receive, through this. So it was beautiful just seeing this opening up and unfolding right before my eyes as I was meditating. And I wrote down the date and saw 7-11, and the code 7 jumped out. So I'm actually excited. Every day, it looks like I may be doing something every day this week. I'm excited to see if I'm going to see a code every day. It's like I'm living in every now moment. And as I get it, I'm just giving it to you, to you all, strictly speaking from the 5D consciousness. This is especially for those who are unfolding into the new earth and awakening to that, the new earth consciousness, tapping into their God encryption, their divine encryption within us, that is helping us explore the avenues, explore the love frequency. That is what the 5D is about. So it's really helping us. I'm really seeing the harmony of how we're coming together, even within myself, within things that I saw that I didn't like. I'm learning and I'm seeing how I can integrate with the situation, not overly compromise myself, not enable another in their demonic aspects even, but really integrate and go about things in a right and true way that highlights the path for me, for us, because what is me is we, and this is a true integration where we're finding the we in the me and the me in the we. So that is the information on the code 7 that I just realized I feel like I had to share with y'all. So happy 7/11, which is happy completion of spiritual awakening. Get your spiritual awakening, and everybody's at different levels. It's okay. Just continue to unfold, continue to tap in. Know that when you see these codes and you see these numbers, it's speaking to you. It's for a reason. Others may be seeing it and they don't even know, but it's highlighting to them. If someone says to you, hey, you notice it was 7/11, they may not know anything about 5D. They may not know anything about anything else, but it means that they're on their way. They're on their path. Things are highlighting to them for a reason, because nothing is a coincidence or an accident. So kind of just smile at that sometimes. We don't have to always impart information on them. If they don't get it, they don't get it. But you'll know. Sometimes you'll know the people around you. If they notice certain things like this, certain number codes especially, there's something unflowering. There's something awakening for them. Their lotus flower is opening. Let their 1,000 petals open, or however many petals they may have 2. Let their petals open. So with that, happy to share that with you, and looking forward to see what, if there's a code 8 tomorrow. We'll see, and faithfully we don't have a uploading problem again, but I'm going to always get it to you as best as I can. So that is the news to infuse that I have to share with you. And with that, each one, reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out, and be the candle that lights the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Peace, love, light.